What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another brand new installment of For the Love of Wrestling. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams. Happy Monday. Hope everyone is having a good evening today. Thank you to everybody who's coming in and joining me hot off the heels of Aaron Rift's review over at NoDQ.com. I know I usually do mine a little bit later, after 8 o'clock here on the West Coast, 11 o'clock Eastern. But our good buddy Jeff Meacham's going to be going live at the top of the hour, so I wanted to, Brian Cage it, get my shit in before he gets live. Let's get right into it, shall we? As Raw comes on the air, we see Jey Uso and Braun Breaker arrive at the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We see the arrival of American Made, who bump into the Alpha Academy, Otis and Tozawa and Maxine. We see LWO members Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee arrive, as well as Bronson Reed arriving backstage. Seth Rollins ambushes him and then makes his way into the arena. At this point, Seth calls out Bronson Reed looking for a fight. Adam Pearce comes out, says he's not going to do this. Reed shows up and chucks a security guard. Seth flies through the ropes to the outside. Security and agents try to separate the two men, but to no avail. Tsunami is attempted to Rollins on the announce table. Bronson misses and the announce table is destroyed. Hell of a hot start to a Raw in the land of extreme. We then go backstage. Jackie Redmond is with Io Sky and Kairi Sane of Damage Control. Liv Morgan comes in, hijacks the interview, dismisses Jackie Redmond, steals the spotlight. Io then proceeds to issue a challenge for a tag match on tonight's episode. Liv accepts. Y'all know how I feel about Liv Morgan. Moving on. Lillian Garcia is back. The rumors are true. She announces the first round match to become the number one contenders for the Raw Tag Team Championship. It's the New Day versus the Authors of Pain. Good, solid match between the two teams. Miz comes out at one point, stands ringside. Karrion Kross and Scarlett flank him. Truth comes in, helps the New Day get the W. Post-match beatdown on Truth. Wyatt Six come out and interrupt. The Wyatt faction clean house on the Final Testament, and Miz is left in the ring alone. Uncle Howdy is about to get the Miz until Paul Ellering gets involved. Howdy then puts the mandible claw on Paul Ellering as the segment ends. This was a hell of a segment. Good to see Paul Ellering in there taking a bump, getting the claw on him. We go backstage. Jackie Redmond is with Adam Pearce. She's asking how he's going to get control of Raw. And Rollins and Bronson Reed then begin to brawl into the segment. We get an interview with Jey Uso saying he's going to retain his Intercontinental title tonight against Braun Breaker. Foreshadowing. Raquel Rodriguez promo, kind of reminding us why she wants Rhea, what Rhea did to her, what Rhea did to Liv, how she cost them the tag titles. Women's tag action is next. Io Sky and Kairi Sane taking on Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson are out at ringside. Solid match until the predictable interference. However, Damage Control will be taking on Lash and Jakara tomorrow night on NXT. So it all was to set up the match there. Rhea comes out, headbutts Raquel, but it barely phases her. Rhea then takes her over the top rope, gets her hands on Liv. Dom comes in for the save. This allows Rhea to finally get her hands on Dom for a little bit, locks him in the prison trap submission. It was good watching Dom squeam a little bit and squirm. Backstage, Bronson and Seth brawl into Pierce yet again, and the Raw GM has had enough. He makes the announcement at Crown Jewel they will finally get their hands on each other one-on-one. We then get a War Raiders vignette. Of course, they made their return a week ago. We then go backstage and get the Judgment Day, talking about how they want a new challenger for Gunther, and maybe it can be Dom. First round match to become the number one contenders for the Raw tag titles. It was LWO, Dragon Lee, and Rey Mysterio versus American Made. It was a solid match, but I think it was a horrible finish. Zelina throws the chancla at Ivy. Rey gets a tag when he's draped over the middle rope. LWO gets the victory. Very much heel tactics by the babyface LWO. Adam Pearce is with Damage Control, and they leave. Carlito comes in, pitches the idea for Dom to get a world title shot against Gunther, and Pearce says that if Dom can defeat a former world heavyweight champion next week, he'll get his chance. So, of course, there's the speculation now as to who he's going to face. Something tells me it's going to be his old man. It'll be Dom versus Rey, so we can kind of stoke those fires a little bit. You've still got Braun Strowman, but that doesn't really make sense. Plus, he's out with a groin injury. You've got The Miz, but he's heel, so heel. That doesn't make sense. Maybe Damian Priest. That way Priest can get his hands on a Judgment Day member. Maybe Pierce is really looking to stir shit up, and he'll give him a match against Finn Balor. And then it's brother versus brother. It'll be interesting to see what's in store for Dom next week, though. We then get Jackie Redmond backstage with Braun Breaker ahead of his title rematch, which is up next. Come back, and Gunther cuts a promo about Cody Rhodes. Says that he will be at SmackDown at Brooklyn on Friday, which Cody invited him to. Priest comes in and wants a shot at the title, but he says he doesn't want a handout. Says that he'll earn it. You go over to Saudi, do your thing at Crown Jewel. When you come back, you got to deal with me. Main event time, Braun Breaker versus Jey Uso for the Intercontinental title. Match was everything we thought it would be. The Bloodline gets involved. They cause shenanigans. You've got Braun Breaker and Jacob Fatu eye to eye. You've got Solo Sikoa holding up a Yeet shirt. No Jimmy, surprisingly. Just it was fun. It was predictable. It was overbooked. And I agree with some people's sentiment that they didn't really need to pull the trigger on dropping the title just yet. They could have waited until at least after Crown Jewel, had him drop the title closer to Survivor Series. With all of the protesting that has been going on with Rikishi and how he feels like they've been holding Jey down. I don't know if giving Jey a 1-month title reign was the best idea, but hey, it is what it is. We'll see how things progress and develop in the weeks that come. All in all, I thought it was a pretty solid episode of Raw tonight. I'm gonna give it a B+. I actually feel like there was a lot of stuff crammed into the 2 hours, but not to the point where I feel like they moved things too quickly to where, they cut stuff short. I feel like everything was very evenly paced and flowed. So B+ there. Let's see what some of y'all are saying here in the comments. Emmanuel, good to see you. Emmanuel thinks that this was one of the weakest Raws in the Triple H era, let down with the storylines they presented tonight. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, man, and I love the way that you and your sister support the channels here at the Simply Reliable Studios. I have to disagree with you, bro. I thought that this week's Raw was really good. I feel like the last few Raws, ever since the chain, have kind of been stutter steps, like they've been trying to find their footing in this new 2-hour era before moving to Netflix. I feel like they found it tonight. I think everything moved very well. So I disagree with you there, man. Matt, good to see you. B minus. I'm B plus. So, we're kind of right on par there. Emmanuel continues, says, let down with the New Day storyline. Either break them up or don't. Feel it's dragging too much. Liv, Raquel, and Dom getting dominated by Rhea. 3 people can't beat up 1. New bloodline getting involved. That way was stupid and too soon, in my opinion. I do agree the bloodline getting involved was too soon. I disagree as far as the Raquel Rhea thing. I don't know. I've been begging for Raquel to go heel for a minute because I always thought that the smiles were too fake. I didn't buy her as a baby face, so I'm really wanting to see how this develops with her as a heel. I will give you the New Day thing though. Break them up or don't. I think they're I think the whole Odyssey Jones thing threw it into a tailspin, and now I think they're trying to wait to see if Big E can come back or not. I really think that's why they're in a holding pattern. But we'll see what happens. Big Jeff Meacham in the house. Yes, absolutely. Packed Meach's musings at the top of the hour. Make sure you guys tune in. That'll be 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific. You kind of can see there on his graphic. You've got, I didn't want to click that. Popped up. You've got TNA Bound for Glory. You've got The Last Nightmare. You've got Paradise Kitty. I can't see some of the other stuff there because the musing's graphic, but a lot of stuff being talked about by good old JM. Top of the hour. Make sure you tune in. Continue the coverage that you've been providing to all of us that are Simply Reliable Studios and affiliated. I know a lot of you were watching Aaron Rift's review that just ended before I came on. I'm about to dip out, give Jeff the floor so that he can do his thing, and we can see what he wants to muse about. That all being said, if you missed karaoke this week, go back in the archives and check it out. It was a hilariously fun time. You had Noah Foster, the Simple Man, doing a Danhausen impression, performing Purple People Eater. I'm going to leave that alone. And then if you missed our breaking news coverage earlier today, myself, James, and Walter all discussed the departure of Samantha Irvin from the WWE. We went almost 50 minutes discussing that one topic. There's not going to be a Saturday Shenanigans this week, as pretty much all of us have some kind of commitment this Saturday. Jeff is going to be in Pasadena in the shadows of the Meyer house watching Halloween 2. I'm sure he'll talk more about that on Musings. Noah and Dattila are going to be at Bound for Glory in Detroit. I have familial obligations that I have to go to in Missouri. One of my cousins passed away a week ago, and so I'm going out there for the funeral. And then James and Walter are pulling double duty. They got to call UFC and Bound for Glory that Saturday. So after doing 2 watch-alongs, they get the night off. They get to rest their voices. So no shenanigans, but this was such a big breaking news story. Had to cover it and discuss it today. Make sure you go check those out. And that is going to just about do it, my friends. So once again, top of the hour, make sure you tune in to good old JM over on the Jeff Meacham Network side of things as he muses on these topics, plus whatever y'all super chat him to discuss. You know, the forums are always open when you send him a donation and support your favorite long-term wrestling podcaster. That's going to wrap things up for me. And until next time, I will catch you guys later.